Coming up on Abilene today, one local church is putting faith in its congregation to practice social distancing guidelines. We'll have a look at some of those churches that were able to reopen this weekend. Plus, lots happening in the big country this past week. Our Dan Booth gives us a recap of whose doors are open and whose still remain closed.
And in the weather, well, we're looking at a very wet start to the week on this Memorial Day across the big country. It's all coming up on Abilene Today.
Live from Abilene's first news station, Big Country Proud. This is KRBC, Abilene Today.
Well, happy Memorial Day. I'm Jessica Rank in for Joni McKinnon.
And I am Clemente Morales. Today is Monday, May the 25th.
Well, here on Abilene Today, we have top stories and weather every 10 minutes. And Clemente, I know a lot of people have the day off, and we got some rain last night. Is that going to continue into today?
Actually, we're going to allow some of the folks to enjoy their part of their holiday off, and then things are going to get interesting later on this evening. Let's go ahead and get started and show you what's going on out there with the weather this morning. We do have a very mild 63 degrees. A lot of it is rain cooled because those showers moved through late last night, early morning hours, bringing with them some very heavy rainfall if you were fortunate enough to get some of those storms. Off to the west, you begin to see a little bit of clearing way out between Snyder and Lamesa. Back over toward the east is where you find the cloud cover, then back down toward the south and east. Still the remnants of that shower activity across the area, but as we said throughout the day today, we are looking for more of those showers to kick in. Temperatures across the state of Texas, we are looking at 50s, 60s, even a few 70s down towards South Texas, where it is very warm along the Texas coast. Here across our area, we do have 64 over in Stanford, 64 also in Breckenridge, back down in toward the heartland, 63 in Goldthwaite, back over to the west, a little bit cooler over there in Snyder. All in all, very nice afternoon. Not those 90 and 100 degree temperatures that we've seen the last week or so. 82 for an afternoon high, 70% chance of showers in toward the later afternoon hours. Some of these could be severe, bringing some very heavy rainfall. All in all, the winds will be from the southeast throughout most of the day at 5 to 10 miles per hour. More on the weather coming up in a bit, including that extended forecast. But Jessica has more news for us right now.
All right, thanks, Clemente. The time is now 6:02. Let's take a look at our top headlines this morning. And as you were saying, a very loud night for many in the big country as overnight thunderstorms hit most of our viewing area. And if the storms kept you up last night, you're not alone. I was awake, but so were some four-legged friends. Take a look at this video of wild hogs running for cover because of the rain. Now, this is between Buffalo Gap and Tuscola. Of course, another rainy day expected for us today, and Clemente is going to continue to keep an eye out for those storms, giving us a full breakdown of what you can expect in about 10 minutes. But until then, let's go ahead and shift gears, taking a look at the latest numbers of COVID-19 cases in Taylor County. The Abilene-Taylor County Public Health District reporting 2 positive cases of COVID-19, bringing the county's total to 230. Now, more than 4,300 tests have been administered and 37 cases are still active. So far, 188 people have recovered. And heading now to Scurry County, where 8 cases of COVID-19 have popped up, including 2 law enforcement center employees. Now, these cases of COVID-19 bringing the total of active cases to 17. 442 tests have been administered, 386 have come back negative, and 42 are currently pending. Now, the health unit says that these new cases were transferred from community spread. And getting back to the Key City, churches in the area opening their doors after weeks of being closed due to the pandemic. Dozens of cars filling in the parking lots for the first in-person Sunday service since March. Governor Abbott signed orders allowing churches to reopen last month, but many of them remain closed. That was until Sunday. Members at Zion Lutheran Church in Abilene reopening as well, and they're saying they're happy to be back with the social distancing guidelines.
Even though we didn't block off every other pew, we did send out emails and make it clear to people, please stay 6 feet away from your fellow congregants. And, you know, when you touch a door or when you shake hands with somebody, and even if it's just an accident, go wash your hands or use some hand sanitizer. Just common sense, just be safe.
Now, other churches have decided to stay closed, but they're also streaming those services instead. And church leaders weren't the only ones who were able to reopen this weekend. Bars and restaurants expanding capacity as well. Our Dan Booth takes a look at how they're keeping up with social distancing guidelines again.
Our goal is to find ways to coexist with COVID-19 as safely as possible.
Office buildings reopening with limited numbers, restaurants expanding from 25% to 50% occupancy, and more are part of Governor Abbott's most recent plans to reopen Texas.
Do everything you possibly can to continue to slow the spread. If you do that, there will be more opportunities to open up the state even more.
Bars were given the green light to reopen at a maximum of 25% occupancy with social distancing guidelines and other safety precautions in place.
We brought our staff in this week. We sanitized and cleaned everything, made sure we're stocked up on sanitizer, make sure our staff was ready for the protocols put in place.
The Abilene Zoo opened back up with a new safety infrastructure. Some of these changes include sneeze guards, the creation of a disinfecting schedule, and encouraging zoogoers to buy their tickets online.
You're going to see some new guidelines here at the zoo, and it's just part of the new, and it's okay, and it's going to be great. We've got 6-foot distancing guidelines as well as queue lines and hand washing before you feed the giraffe.
To share the perspective of a medical professional on COVID-19 as well as their plans for summer school, AISD posted a discussion between Superintendent Dr. David Young and Dr. Robert Wiley. In the video, Dr. Wiley addressed the timetable for a possible vaccine.
In the best case scenario, probably the earliest we would have a vaccine is 2021. Some would say maybe November, December of 2020. That's an extremely optimistic outlook.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Dan Booth.
All right, thanks, Dan. The time is now 6:06, and coming up on Abilene today, protesters gather in Austin calling for state leaders to end policies related to the coronavirus.
Also, after the break, we're going to take a look at that extended forecast and see what the rest of the work week holds in store. Stay tuned.
This is KRBC Abilene Today with Joni McKinnon and meteorologist Clemente Morales.